Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today for a new pick a card reading. For those of you that are new to the channel, welcome in. My name is Melissa, and today's reading topic is going to be what's happening for you in the upcoming month of July. So in today's video, I'm going to be getting into your month ahead outlook, general energies. We're going to be looking into any situations of significance, any people, experiences, energies that may present themselves to you guys as you're navigating the upcoming month ahead. It is going to be more general in nature, but I am going to be pulling one card to signify both career and love in this reading. But definitely stay tuned because I typically have more in-depth, long-form versions of those specific categories for the month ahead if you're looking more in for that. Keep in mind, guys, this is a general reading, so some messages may resonate quite specifically to your situation, while others may not. Always use your intuition and take what resonates with you, leave the rest behind. If something doesn't resonate with your situation, you can just let it fly. Please don't let it upset you because it is not personal. That being said, if you do want to book a personal reading, all the details on how you can do that are linked in the description box down below. Also keep in mind that this is a time-based reading, right? So we're predicting out what's happening for you the upcoming month ahead. So energy is always changing. The future is never set in stone. So please make sure that you're not kind of feeling stuck or tied to anything that a tarot reading is saying is going to happen, right? It's just giving you the prediction of where you're headed based off your current energy. And if you want to switch things up, you can do so and create a totally different outcome for yourself. So always keep that in mind when you're viewing these time-based readings. So let's go ahead and get into our pile selection for today's reading. We're going to be doing 3 piles today. Starting on the left, we have pile number 1, and the crystal that we're working with is a spirit quartz. I want to kind of zoom it in so you guys can see because it's got a little shadow here with my lighting. For group number 2, we're working with clear quartz. And group number 3, I don't actually know what this crystal is. It's like a really beautiful teal kind of blue crystal. If anyone knows what it is, feel free to drop me a comment down below so that I know. But I was really drawn to it for today's reading. So I want you guys to go ahead and take a deep breath. Choose the card or crystal you're feeling the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your selection, go ahead and scroll down to the description box below where you can locate the timestamp that will take you to your selected pile. See you there? Hey, group number 1, if you guys chose this beautiful spirit quartz, this is going to be your reading for the upcoming month of July. So let's go ahead and see what is happening for you guys. We're going to kick things off with your tarot cards. And then, of course, build with our oracle cards as we typically do in these readings. So we start your reading off here with the Magician. We have the 7 of Feathers, which is the 7 of Swords. Ooh, and then we have the Empress card. Very cool. Okay. I feel like this month ahead, you guys are working on manifesting something new into your life. I'm really feeling like a major sort of like creation energy, both from the Magician card and from this Empress card here. For some of you guys, and this could be like manifestation of really anything of significance in your life. So if there's something you guys are like calling into your life right now, that's probably what this is talking about for you. Okay. It could be different for everyone viewing this, but especially with the Empress card being here, typically for me, this talks about kind of like giving birth to something new and being able to nurture it and cultivate it. So for some of you, I feel like this is sort of a creative project that maybe you guys are manifesting more abundance from, or just working on strengthening in some capacity. I'm also getting with this Magician card that some of you guys might be, you might actually be furthering your learning around whatever this is. So the Magician oftentimes talks about like our skills and abilities that we have and the way that we're able to utilize the skills in order to manifest and achieve results, right? So sometimes with the Magician, this can be a sign that we might need to fine-tune a skill or do a little bit more learning so that we're truly the master of what that skill is. And then this kind of unlocks the path forward for us to achieve our desired result, right? So I definitely think that there is something here for you guys, some of you guys watching pile 1, around like furthering your learning, furthering your education, learning a new skill, something that's going to help benefit this creative endeavor that you're going after. I'm definitely getting with this Seven of Swords card here in the heart, though. It's kind of interesting. You guys have these major arcana cards, and then you've got like this strategy card here, right? So it's like the Seven of Swords, I feel for you guys this month is more so about strategic stuff. It's about strategy. It's about kind of, the card talks about preparation, resourcefulness, right? It's kind of about moving in silence and really using our intellect to navigate a situation. So it's like once you've learned the new skill, once you've identified what it is that you're calling into your life, you're manifesting, there's going to be this period of time this month where you guys are really strategic and you're not necessarily telling everyone what you're doing. You're very much keeping this to yourself because you have a goal that you're trying to achieve, right? And it's okay to not tell everybody everything. This is so important to remember, you guys. The Seven of Swords gets a bad reputation for being shady. And it's like, sometimes it is shady, but sometimes the opinions of other people can negatively impact our decision making, right? So I see you guys moving through a period of kind of moving in silence and being very resourceful and, savvy with your energy. Ending out the month here with the Empress card, which is all about, nurturing and giving birth to something new, taking care of yourself, taking care of whatever this project is. So those are sort of the initial things that I'm getting, but I want to continue with some oracle cards. So moving on, next we have Capricorn. Yeah, you guys are trying to achieve something this month is what I feel with this energy. We also have the 5th house of passion. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, this for me, like this whole idea of you guys really nurturing some sort of a creative project or creative passion is coming through here. This really feels like literally with these two cards coming out together, you guys, I'm going to push these up. This literally feels like you're trying to make a hobby into a career, essentially. The 5th house, I love this card, the way it depicts it, because this is what I think of when I think of the 5th house. I think of like our hobbies and interests, our creative endeavors, our passions in life, the things that bring us joy every day, right? So this is like a very artistic sort of depiction of the 5th house. That could be of significance for some of you, something around art or creativity, right? But overwhelmingly with Capricorn here, you guys are desiring to push for results. You're trying to achieve something here as it pertains to this hobby or this creative project. And I think this is why we have this very savvy, almost like business-minded 7 of Swords here at the heart of this reading, right? Because you guys are kind of realizing, especially mid-month, that it's going to be very important for you to start being a little bit more strategic about the way you're doing things. I think a lot of times with passions and hobbies, we tend to just kind of like go with the flow, and it's like, this is just for fun. But the truth of the matter is, you guys, is like, if you want it to be successful, you do need to channel this Capricorn energy and this 7 of Swords energy and really be willing to put forth effort. It's almost like treating your creative passion and your hobby like it's your job, like it's your real full-time 40-hour-a-week career, or however many hours you want to work. If it was me, it'd be 32 hours. That's just me. So anyways, with Capricorn coming up here, I definitely see that this is a month where you all are hard at work at this. You're really putting forth some structure, maybe putting things into sort of like a regimen, right? To make sure that you're accountable to doing what you need to get done and making your goals. Capricorn can also talk about knowing the right people. For me anyway, I've seen this come up in a sense where it's about kind of, being able to connect with the right people and network so that you're better positioned with regard to the goals that you're trying to achieve. So we have Journey coming up here next. Love that. And then we also have the Sun. How beautiful. So this feels like for a lot of you that this is maybe it could be like a new endeavor or a new, like this could be a totally new project for some of you, a totally new energy for others of you. But it's definitely talking about like, this is going to be a journey. This is a process. Like, be open and willing to kind of make mistakes. Be open and willing to kind of learn from your mistakes is what I'm getting from this, because it's not going to be perfect overnight, okay? Capricorn energy can very much be like perfectionism energy, Virgo energy as well. So some of you guys might be Virgos, but I feel like for a lot of you guys, I'm just getting this message around like, this is a process, this is a journey. And I think learning to enjoy it as you go along, you know what I mean? Like, This isn't normally how I read this card. This is just like a really intuitive message that I'm picking up for you, pile one, right now. But like, you see how she kind of has her bags packed and she's like slowly walking across this bridge. It's like there's a need here to appreciate and enjoy the process of where you are as you're navigating this, and don't force yourself to, don't overwork yourself is what I'm getting here. I'm also getting for a lot of you that this month, if you've been confused, because I do feel with the Sun card that there's maybe been some confusion around like what direction you want to go or how to really implement this in a way that's going to drive results. I feel like if you have been experiencing some confusion, there's going to be some light shed, because I'm really being drawn to how this little lamppost is shining the light on the next step forward on this path that she's on, right? So I think that you guys will be gaining a lot of clarity and focus around where you want to go with this. The Sun is beautiful. Like for me, this is all about clarity. This is about understanding yourself, understanding the situation, understanding the process. I'm also getting that for some of you, you may be in the spotlight this month as well with regard to this creative endeavor. So for some of you, this could be more of like a public sort of thing that you're doing. Doesn't necessarily have to be. There's going to be moments where the spotlight is being shown on you and you're going to be receiving a lot of attention and abundance, I feel, as well. So very cool, group number one. Let's keep going. We have a couple more cards for you. So we have the Tiger. This says you're being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing so. I love this. And this Magician card, I don't know if you guys can see it here, but it has the word willpower on it. So I think for a lot of you all this month, it's going to be very important for you to channel your confidence, your willpower. That's what this Tiger card is talking about. It's all about being able to be confident in yourself and know that you are qualified to do whatever it is that you are trying to do, okay? And I love that this is talking about providing leadership, because I do feel that this is a month where you all are really being challenged to take the lead on going after the things that you want to do. And that's where this strategic energy is coming in with the Seven of Swords. For some of you guys, I think that there's been maybe a little bit of a tendency with the Empress card to sort of like lean back and just kind of nurture and go with the flow. And that's totally fine. But I think that this month, you're going to be striking that balance between nurturing and creating versus pushing something out and making that effort. So very cool, guys. So we're going to close out your reading. We're going to get one career message and one love message for you. But if you want more like in-depth versions of these, definitely check back on my channel, because there should be dedicated videos to these as well for the month of July. So starting off with your career energy, you guys have the Three of Wands. So this is talking about payoff, rewards on the horizon. Okay. So this kind of can tie in a lot with the messages that we've already been getting, group one. It's like the Three of Wands is about planning, right? It's about being able to look into the future and sort of have a process in mind, or maybe specific steps in mind, maybe looking at a ladder that you want to climb, and knowing that, you know, setting yourself up for success by planning is going to be very important. I think that when you guys are navigating your career this month, there's going to be this emphasis on the things that I'm planning today are going to be able to pay off for me in the future. And it's coming soon. Like, I feel like it's in the foreseeable future for a lot of you guys. So even if you're not seeing it right now, I feel like what Spirit is saying with your career is that it's coming. It's on the horizon. Just keep planning, keep setting yourself up for success, and keep kind of the big picture vision in mind around what your goals are that you're trying to achieve. I'm also getting for some of you in career, you guys could be waiting for communication around something important too. So that's just something for some of you. Let's look at your love card for this month. Okay, so you guys have the Four of Cups. So this talks about missed opportunities, right? So I think for some of you guys, I feel like this month, at least the energy that I'm picking up on from your general reading, group one, it feels a lot more focused on creative projects, career, things like that. It doesn't really feel, or there's not a lot of indication here that love is super important for you this month. So I do think for a lot of you guys, the Four of Cups is just kind of talking about like this month really isn't a big month for love. You're not really focused on it that much. But for those of you that are focusing on love, the Four of Cups is telling me that maybe for some of you guys, there are certain options being presented to you that you don't feel that excited about, you don't feel in alignment with Whereas for others of you, I think that there's a feeling of kind of sadness or like feeling bummed because maybe you feel as though you've overlooked an opportunity. Like, I'm really being drawn to how this guy is looking in the distance at this light here. And it's almost like this wistful energy of, man, like this person was like such a shining beacon. This relationship was such a gem. It was such a golden opportunity this whole time. And I feel like I missed my chance, So there is a little bit of sadness with this card as well for some. But for most of you, it just kind of feels like you're not really paying attention to love this month. That's what I'm getting. All right, so group number 1, we're going to go ahead and close out your reading here, but I would love to hear from you in the comments down below which aspects of the reading you feel resonate with your situation the most, so please let me know. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. This way you guys are aware of whenever I'm uploading new content. I'll see you in a new reading really soon. Bye. Hey there, group number 2. If you guys picked out this clear quartz crystal, this will be your reading. We're going to take a look to see what is happening for you guys in the month of July, starting off with the tarot and building out from there. So for you guys, we start off here with the 9 of Shells, which is the 9 of Cups. We have the Death card. And we have the Knight of Crystals, which is the Knight of Pentacles. Very interesting. Okay, so right off the bat, you guys, this definitely feels like this is a month of change, especially with this Death card coming up here at the heart of your reading. Death card really talks about, in this instance, it's specifically saying transformation, transition, and liberation, which are all really beautiful and optimistic ways of looking at this Death card, and that is what I feel looking at this. I think that this month you guys might be in a little bit of a transition. You're leaving something behind in order to move into something else, okay? I feel like kicking off this month, you guys are in a place of like feeling really just emotionally fulfilled and happy. Like there's this energy of the 9 of Cups of just like, this card talks about gratitude and fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. But for me, the 9 of Cups is also this energy of like being free to do whatever you want to do and kind of moving in an independent way. Moving in a way that brings you the most fulfillment. So it's like making sure that all of your littlest needs are met is kind of where I see you guys starting off the month here. Like for me, the 9 of Cups in like the most mundane sense can be talking about like, oh, I don't feel like doing this thing today, so I'm just going to leave early and go home and do something I want to do. You know what I mean? Like versus like on a more grand scheme of things, it can be talking about like having our wishes totally fulfilled, right? So it's going to be on a gradient depending on your situation. But I see you guys kind of leaving behind this period of like, I'm going to do whatever I want and have all this, like all my needs met, emotional fulfillment. And we're kind of transitioning into this period of working a little bit harder, planning, planting seeds for the future. The Knight of Crystals, the Knight of Pentacles. This is all about making those efforts toward practical goals and achievements that we're trying to make in our life, right? So for some of you guys, this can be talking about work. Pentacles oftentimes talk about like our career, our finances, things like that. But even if it's not about work and just generally kind of speaking, this card is really when we are making very thoughtful, practical, pragmatic steps forward towards something that we are wanting to do. And we are okay with taking it slow because we know that it's a journey, not a sprint, right? I guess is what's coming to mind. So it feels like a really beautiful month for you ahead, guys. But it definitely feels as though you are changing. There's something in your life that's majorly changing for you this month. I'm also feeling like you guys are just in a transition period in general in the month of July. It may not necessarily even be transitioning from this to this specifically for all of you. But in general, this is just a month where things are changing for you overall in your life. Something is definitely needing to be left behind. So let's take a look at your astrology cards next. So for these, we get opposition. Yeah, okay, so I think I was right. We also have the 3rd house of communication coming through here. Yeah, so I think like, there could be a little bit, with all change comes challenge, right? Like it's hard. Change is hard. especially humans, we tend to be such creatures of habit, right? We want what we want. We want to do what we want to do. And so sometimes with change comes uncomfortability, right? So I definitely see here that there are, for you guys, like some competing priorities this month with the opposition card coming up, or at least like some difficulty with moving through the change, right? Especially if we're moving from like living our life in a way that's very like emotional fulfillment, doing all the things I want to do. And then now we have to transition into like, okay, it's time to work. Like that's not always the most fun feeling. And that is kind of what I'm getting for a few of you guys out there. But it's interesting with this coming up with the third house of communication as well, because these two cards together are making me feel like some of you guys might be having some changes or challenges around relationships in your life, or just the way that you're communicating with others in general. I'm not really seeing a lot of communication cards coming up here, but I think for some of you guys, the third house, so this is just to talk about like communication with people within your day-to-day life, or like I think of siblings, work colleagues, or like casual connections that you would have every day. You know, so if you guys are kind of starting off your month in this more like independent, emotionally independent energy where you're sort of navigating life, doing things in a way that only you want to do, but maybe you have other people that this is impacting for their detriment, right? This could be talking about some sort of conflict coming up there. Or just in general, for some of you guys, it just is challenges around confrontation and talking to people and telling them what it is that you genuinely feel, and vice versa. A lot of you guys, I think this month are working on, I feel like a part of this transformation is communication too. Like, especially if it has to do with career, I think that there's an energy of networking, talking with people, making those connections, and learning to do it in a way that is maybe more reciprocal versus solo. You know what I mean? And my timer just hit 555. So yeah, change is definitely coming through for you guys this month for sure. That's further confirmation. So let's see. We have Door to Spirit, which is beautiful. And we also have Indecision. Okay. Coming together now. So yeah, I think it definitely feels like you guys, with this transformation ahead this month, I definitely think that there is a little bit of indecisive energy for sure coming through here. This is like when we have two paths that we can take and we're just really uncertain about which one is going to be the best one for us. You know what I mean? Maybe you guys have a lot of options that you're navigating this month. There's a big choice that you need to make with regard to like liberating yourself from something. I'm also getting that like some of the indecisiveness could be coming from this Nine of Cups. Like, I don't know why you guys like that I keep coming back to this Nine of Cups as being very significant to this reading. So since that's what's coming through, I'm going to honor my intuition and talk more about this. Like, I feel like this is the source of the issue this month for you guys with the opposition. And so what I want to clarify here is that it is good to be emotionally fulfilled. It is good to be emotionally independent. And it is good to make sure that you're having all of your wishes and needs fulfilled, right? These are all good things to aspire to, right? But because we have these indications of confrontation and communication issues with other people, I'm almost wondering if your change and transformation is being stagnated by your desire to have a certain thing that you want, okay? Like maybe you guys are having an idea in your head that's really high standards around something that you're wanting in your life because you want it to check off all the boxes, right? And I'm not saying that that's a wrong thing, but I'm wondering if it's causing this sort of like indecisive energy for you when new opportunities are arising or showing themselves. Because it's like, if it's not specifically checking off all these boxes, it's like hard to know for you whether or not you should move forward, if that makes sense. That's just something I'm getting for someone out there. But yeah, I definitely think that this indecisive energy you guys are moving through is causing friction. But I think that your connections with others is going to help you through this. I also think that Door to Spirit is talking about You guys are on path this month. This is all a part of your spiritual journey. And peace is coming. Like every time I see this card, I'm really like drawn to this little dove here. Peace is coming. And so I think for a lot of you, if you're feeling indecisive or confused about where you're supposed to be going, you really need to honor your higher self. Tap into your higher self. Look for the signs and synchronicities that have been sent to you from spirit, because you are being supported and guided through this time. And so it may just be that the signs have been in front of you all along, but you haven't been picking up on them. We have the polar bear. It says, stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to outcomes. So there's kind of further clarification on this opposition and this communication energy here. So as you guys are moving through change, it definitely feels like communication is being further highlighted with this polar bear energy, right? So, you guys need to make sure that you're advocating for yourselves. You're speaking your truth. But I think the key here is no attachment to the outcome. So maybe for some of you guys, there's like a certain conversation you need to have, or maybe there's like support that you're needing as you're navigating through this transition in your life. And Spirit is saying advocate for yourself, but release the attachment to having a specific outcome. Release the need to have it a specific way. Does that make sense? So let's close out the reading. We're going to take a look at a career card for you and a love card for you. We're just going to get one card for each. If you guys want more in-depth energy reads on those, you can check back on my channel for their own separate videos that I typically do. So starting with career, you guys have the 10 of Swords. So this is talking about cutting your losses, necessary change, reversal of fortune. Yeah. So I definitely think that for a lot of you, this Death card could be referring to something that's going on with your career this month. It definitely feels like something is coming to an end, and it might have been something that you guys really, really loved too, right? But the beauty of the 10 of Swords is that it is a necessary change, right? It is like rock bottom energy, but we can only go up from here, right? And I definitely see that as you guys are rounding out this month, there's an acceptance here to this change, because the Knight of Pentacles is about forward movement, making progress, being determined to succeed. For some of you, this could even signify like support coming in, or like an offer of employment coming in if this is about work. So keep that in mind. But yeah, it definitely feels like this is a month for career where things are maybe not feeling the best, but it's for the better in the long run, okay? And that could be part of that spiritual journey as well. For love, we have the King of Swords. This is talking about quick wit and intellect. So it definitely feels like, so for some of you, this could be a person, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy here with the King of Swords, air sign energy. For others of you, this is talking about maybe being a little bit detached from love this month, because a King of Swords is typically someone who is a bit detached from their emotions. They're more about their intellect and logic and things like that. But I think for a lot of you, this is also just signifying you approaching love and relationships from a more intellectual perspective. This can be talking again about like communication, right? Like getting to know people, thinking more logically versus getting caught up in your emotions about things. Being comfortable with just like speaking your truth, because the King of Swords definitely is not afraid to speak his truth, right? So that can also tie into some of these other cards around communication here. Maybe dating is a thing that you guys are doing this month. You're trying to keep things very like, staying in control of your emotions as you navigate dating and communication. But this definitely looks like a really beautiful and transformative month for you, Group 2. So I would love to hear from you in the comments, like what's been going on with you leading up to this month and how you feel some of the messages resonate with you. So let me know. I love hearing from you. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. This way you guys are aware of whenever I'm uploading new content. And I'll see you in a new reading very soon. Bye. Hey there, group number 3. If you guys picked out this beautiful little turquoise crystal, which I don't know what it is, so if you guys know what it is, please comment below and let me know. This is going to be your reading for the month of July, so we're going to start things off here with your tarot cards, and then we will move into all of your oracle cards as we move forward. So starting off your month, we have the energy of the Star. We have the Three of Acorns, which is the Three of Wands. And then we have the Six of Acorns, which is the Six of Wands. Nice. Okay, let me just give me a second, you guys. Sorry. Lots of Wands energy coming up for you this month, which is great to see. This is really talking about taking action, right? The Wands are all about channeling our passions, channeling our willpower, our stamina, our strength, and taking action forward. I think that you guys this month, I love the Star card being here because it feels like this month you're starting off in a place of feeling very hopeful, optimistic, inspired to do something. Some of you guys may have come through like a period of, like healing as well. Like maybe there's something in the month of June that you guys have been really going through it in a sense. And the Star card is saying that like you're kicking off July and with a period of relief from whatever that was. There's peace here. There's healing here. But there's also hope and inspiration and optimism for the future. And I'm seeing a lot of future-oriented cards here this month for you. Some of you guys might also be getting some recognition. You might be in the spotlight this month. But I feel like you guys are working on planning ahead for something. You know, the Three of Wands is all about this talks about foresight and exploration, right? So I feel like this is a month where you guys are really looking ahead into the future, looking ahead into your month, both short-term and long-term, and you're planning something for the future based off of this period of recovery that you've been through, where you're now feeling more optimistic and inspired. So whatever is coming to mind that you guys are feeling inspired about, this feels like the focal point of your reading. And what I love to see here is that a lot of times with the Star card, this is like our hopes and dreams, but it doesn't necessarily equate to actions. You guys are showing up here as wanting to take action on your hopes and dreams. So there's a period of planning here. There's a period of exploring options, kind of seeing things from a much higher perspective, kind of looking at the month, looking at the weeks, looking at, months ahead, years ahead. And then with the Six of Wands, actually taking action on the plans that you've made here. This is all about stepping up and becoming a leader, taking the lead on the situation and making plans. You're just getting it done, right? I'm also seeing for a lot of you that this is going to be a month of success for you as well with the Six of Wands, because this can oftentimes signify a period of recognition for hard work having been accomplished, right? Or goals being accomplished. So you have two cards here that really indicate like being in the spotlight or getting some sort of success. So let's continue. We have Mercury and we have Cancer. Okay. So we are in Cancer season as this is going up in the month of July. So this could be a month of significance for you with regard to big things you guys have going on. But I'm also kind of getting here, like with both of these cards showing up together, I'm feeling like you guys are moving through a period of being able to express your emotions and communicate your emotions, maybe in a more effective way, taking the lead on this, because Mercury is all about communication. It's all about, sending messages, having conversations, networking, things like that. But Cancer is sort of like about our family, and it's about like relationships and like hopes and dreams and how we feel, you know what I mean? Our home life, things like that. So I feel like with them coming up together, this is making me feel like you guys are growing comfortable this month or finding success this month and being able to effectively communicate your emotions, being able to effectively communicate with your family, your loved ones, things like that. I definitely feel this is a month where you all are finding a lot of emotional fulfillment with especially with the period of healing that it feels like you guys have gone through. So we have happy family. I love the synchronicities. I don't ever look at these before I start the video, so I love when that happens. We also have the world card showing up here. So I definitely think that this is a month where you guys could be like definitely focusing in on your family unit, especially with Cancer coming up. That just further confirms it for me. Some of you guys might be like planning something with regard to family or loved ones. You can also be maybe going on like a trip or something with your family for some of you. Getting like family vacation vibes here. And with the 3 of Wands too. You guys also have the number 4 coming up twice here. So 4s have to do with our foundations. It has to do with building something, right? Like setting a foundation up for success. So perhaps some of this planning energy that you guys are moving through has to do with planning for your family, planning for your home, planning with loved ones, things like that. And with the world card here, this is all about kind of noticing or knowing that like we have a limitless amount of possibilities being afforded to us. And so there's definitely still this energy here of exploration that's coming through here with the 3 of Acorns and the world. Just further confirmation that you guys are exploring possibilities this month and maybe doing so through communication as well. So definitely don't fall into any self-limiting beliefs this month, you guys, because it feels like you have a lot of opportunity and a lot of options being offered to you. And I do feel you're going to be seeing success in the areas of significance to your life. So let's see. We have the snow leopard. It says, take some time out of your usual life and spend it in solitude. I love this. Yeah. So I'm definitely feeling like that further confirms the star energy, right? Like making sure that you are well rested this month, making sure that you are taking care of your emotional well-being, your home life. And it's like, I know in the beginning of our reading, you guys, I was talking a lot about actions, right? The 3 of Wands is more about like the action of planning. So it doesn't necessarily mean we're out running around in the streets, doing stuff. It just means that we're in this space of planning things, right? Which you can do in a more solitude type of environment, But yeah, Spirit is saying here with the snow leopard, this is a good time this month to take a time out and focus on what's really important to you, which could be family. I feel like family is being majorly highlighted here. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to see, we're going to pull 1 card for your career this month and 1 card for love, but definitely check back to my channel because you will see dedicated full videos to both of these topics for the month of July if you're looking for a more in-depth read on those. So starting off with career, we have the 7 of Swords. So this is talking about, this says shady dealings, criminal behavior, suspicious activities. That could be the case for some of you, but for me, I see the 7 of Swords a lot differently. I see this as more of like strategizing and planning, moving in silence. So kind of going back to the snow leopard, the 3 of Wands. I do think that for a lot of you guys, this is a month of planning your moves and being very strategic and logical about that. And not necessarily needing to tell everybody what it is that you're doing. Okay. But the other thing I'll say is that I think that some of you guys might be trying to get out of a situation in your career this month. Because we do have some communication energy here. We do have success energy. We have planning energy. So it feels like you guys are trying to kind of escape from a situation or remove yourselves from a situation, but you're doing it in a silent way. You're doing it in a strategic way where like maybe somebody else would think you're being shady, but really you're just doing what's best for you. You know what I mean? Because I'm seeing that your comforts are very important to you this month. Your healing is very important to you. So you're just you're doing this because this is what's best for you with the circumstances at hand. Some of you guys as well, I'm getting like with the 7 of Swords, and this is no shade because I get it, but this can also be talking about like avoiding responsibilities at work. So it definitely feels like that could be something for 1 or 2 of you out there. So just take it as it resonates. So with love life, we have the 8 of Swords. This is talking about imprisonment in this card. So when it comes to love and romance, there's this energy of like kind of self-limiting beliefs or getting in your own way in a sense. The Eight of Swords can talk about like feeling stuck or feeling trapped. But it's usually kind of like a mental prison of our own making. It's not usually as bad as what we think it is. Swords also have to do with the way that we communicate too, right? And you guys do have Mercury here, which is talking about communication. I feel like this month there is a message here that kind of ties into some of your astrology cards with love. It's like, I think it's going to be very important for you guys to make sure that you're not self-sabotaging progress by not having the confidence to speak your truth, right? Remember how I was talking about this month? It feels like you guys are trying to get better at speaking your emotions and speaking how you really feel about your emotions to others. You know, when you're in an Eight of Swords mentality, you're kind of awkward about that. Like you're not really comfortable doing that. It feels awkward. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like you want to make changes, but you don't know how to go about doing it. You know, like because you're blocking yourself mentally. So I definitely think that this is a month where you guys may be feeling some awkwardness in love, or maybe struggling to have some conversations, or feeling a little stuck in a situation. But your guidance here is around, again, leveraging communication and getting confident and speaking your truth. Just tell them how you feel instead of being awkward. That's my advice that's coming through. So pile 3, I think we will go ahead and close out the reading here, but I would love to hear from you in the comments. What aspects of this read resonate with your situation? What have you guys been going through as we come into the month of July? Would love to hear. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to view today's video, and I will see you in a new reading very soon. Bye.